Oh gosh. I hope you hold it up correctly. Yeah, you do. I'll wait for a little bit for this unplanned live, so I'll wait for people to jump in. So, oh man, it's unplanned. Y'all don't judge me for my sweet tea. I don't know if that's on or not. Live chat. And I think that should be it. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Okay, I see people popping in now. JDQ, RN, Zach, Barry, Peyton, what's going on? What's going on? It's not yeah, I know. It's probably this camera, honestly. It's probably like my face, you know, my face stuff. Sorry. That better? It's not the live I definitely wanted to have today. I'm a little bit too lazy to make it a video. No, I'm using my iPhone. Hopefully my calls are actually forwarded, so when the shop calls me, it rings my other phone and not this one. But I certainly didn't want to make this live. I didn't want to make it a video. There is a video about the full experience coming out. I just have to take it off my camera, which I didn't do today. But there was a bit of an accident today. It's hopefully not bad news, but it's certainly not good news. But everyone knows there's a snowstorm going on right now. So I tried to beat it. I tried to race the snowstorm, and I did a fairly good job for the most part. I tried to outbeat the storm, and I didn't. So on I-40 in New Mexico, I don't know if it's on the news or not. Honestly, I've been asleep. So there was an accident, and I was involved in it. It was a I'm assuming 30. It was quite a huge pileup on I-40 in New Mexico today. At least one fatality. Like I was there at the beginning of the accident, so am I really? I wonder if it's because my Wi-Fi is on. I hope not. Yeah, so there was a bit of an accident in New Mexico. I was at the beginning of it. I was able to avoid the trucks, but I did have to, I guess when I came, by the time I came up to the accident, I was in the right lane, and there was a truck in front of me, and I wasn't going fast. I was probably doing about 50, 52, 55, something like that, and plenty of following distance. Truck in front of me, I don't know, good three and a half truck lengths in front of me. Saw his brake lights come on, so I throw my Jake brakes on because it's snow on the ground. Then I realized how fast he was stopping, so I tried to use the service brakes, started sliding. So obviously, if I start sliding, I know I'm not gonna stop. So I, change lanes to the left lane to make sure I don't, it gives myself plenty of space to, not hit him because he was coming to a stop faster than I could come to a stop. So I kind of floated over to the left lane to avoid running into him, to give my engine brakes a chance to slow me down and stop me. So went to the left lane. As I went into the left lane, the guy in front of me went into the left lane. So at this point, we have like 3/4 of a truck length in front of us. So I had to slide back over to the right. Obviously there's stop traffic, so I had to slide onto the shoulder. So I was able to avoid it, Didn't put my truck in a ditch, which was fantastic. But was able to come to a safe stop. The truck behind me was, when I turned my flashes on the first time, he was able to catch it and he was fine. I got stopped on the shoulder. The trooper that was behind us, however, was not so lucky because he was coming to a stop and a truck, I guess, switched from the right lane and jumped in front of the trooper, or the state trooper, and the state trooper had to swerve to avoid that truck. The truck I came to, or the truck that I avoided in the right lane, he had to avoid me, and the trooper went into the ditch. So, but he was able to like drive out of it, so he was fine. We all got stopped. It was no accidents. Like from me backwards, there was no accidents. We were all able to catch it and like, defensive drive our way out of, colliding with each other. But unfortunately, by the time we all got ourselves back onto the highway and situated, like, moving to see what's going on in CB radio, there's a video coming out about this. Like I said, I recorded all of this on my dash cam, or not my dash. Well, I did record it on my dash cam, but I was actually recording on my GoPro time lapse video of driving in the snow. So I got it all on video. But by the time we all got situated, we had about 4 or 5 trucks on our side of the highway. They got us to accidents, both on the right and left lane. And then further up, there was 2 more on the right and 1 more on the left on our side, and then another mile up on the eastbound side going the opposite direction is a huge pile up. But before I get to that part, so we had to avoid the accident on our side, on the westbound side. So the troopers were guiding us and like getting around the debris and stuff. Unfortunately, I must have caught something in my tires. And it is plural, unfortunately. Right now I have 3 drive tires that are flat. So I must have ran over something in the debris, or we don't really know what's going on. Most of it was probably cold weather, but I'm waiting on the shop to figure out what is going to happen with my tires right now, because I don't know. But I mean, my truck is down right now. So, but that didn't happen until like 80 miles past the accident. But like I said, all this stuff will be on a published video because I recorded all of it on my GoPro. But right now my truck is down. I'm waiting on the shop to figure out what they can do about my tires. I'm really hoping I don't have to buy 3 new tires. But I'm assuming that I'm probably going to be buying 3 new tires. And I'm not too thrilled about that. But, I mean, that's part of trucking, like, gotta slow down and stuff like that. Ah, you're so nice. Thanks so much, JDQ. Whew, that's a lot. Oh no, yeah, I don't do retreads, so if I gotta get new tires, they're gonna be new tires. Greensdale, I'm trying to get into trucking. I retired from government work 2 years ago. I have a CDLA, but no one wants to hire me because of no experience OTR. Do you have any solutions? Yeah, you can find a mega care. Oh, you already have your CDL though. Give me a second to think about that one. I feel like you can go to any mega carrier, but send me an email. My email's in the description below. Send me an email and I'll follow up with you on that one. I'm not really sure how to answer that question, officially, to put that out in the, internet. Anyway, thank you guys so much for the super chat. Trust me, it's really appreciated because I don't know how much these tires are going to be. Well, I know how much they're going to be, but I'm not thrilled about having to buy 3 new tires right now. But, I mean, first and foremost, like, the worst thing to happen to me is I have to buy, 3 tires. But, in the death of it all, like, someone lost their life today. And I kind of have to, like, be thankful that I got the driving training and the common sense to, you know, not speed in snow and ice. But like, I have to be thankful that I know how to drive and stuff. I know how to slow down, maintain my distance. And really just my thoughts and prayers go out to the people who were actually involved in an accident. Like I said, I was able to avoid hitting anything outside of whatever it was in the road. But it's just, it's it's not truck driving is fun, right? Truck driving is a great job. I love my job, but a lot of things that people don't understand is truck driving is actually one of the most dangerous jobs in America, and it's because of situations like this. And it's like, you know, bad weather happens, yeah, you have, you know, not so safe drivers speeding through ice and snow, and you have to be able to deal with all of that while you're driving your vehicle safely. You have to watch out for everyone else, because you don't know when that's going to be that guy in the ditch, or he's going to slide and jackknife across the highway. It's actually a video I have coming out. Well, I said it now. I have a video coming out. It's already uploaded. I could just drop it probably in the morning sometime. But actually had the other winter storm that I was in like 4 or 5 days ago. Someone jackknifed their truck across the highway, shut down the highway on, what was that? I was either on 55 or 24, one of those. But you know, same thing, driving too fast, not focus on the road, lose control of a truck, you know, anything can happen. So it's one of the most dangerous jobs, but it is the most rewarding. But it's like, y'all, if it's snow and ice on the ground, y'all have got to slow down. And it's going to sound repetitive, because on the video I'm going to make about the accident about earlier today, I say the same thing over and over again. Like, that's my biggest thing about truck driving is safety. Like safety. Nothing is more important in this job than being safe, like, at all. And I promise I'm going to come back and catch up the comments, but every time I do that, I lose my train of thought. Safety is the biggest thing about this job. Like, if you guys are not being safe to your utmost capabilities, you're putting everyone else at risk. Like, let's say I wasn't being safe. Let's say I just saw a comment earlier, like, let's say I was on TikTok and driving in snow. I don't know who would do that, but let's say I was on my phone and looking down at my phone instead of paying attention to the road, and I look up and I have a wall of brake lights in front of me. I'm gonna slam into the back of those people. Like, safety is my number. Like, it's my biggest concern in driving trucks. Always safety. Anyway, I'm gonna get off that soapbox because I did that on this video earlier. I'm about to catch up on comments real quick. What happened on I-40 in New Mexico earlier today? I was involved in the 30 or so vehicle pileup that had a fatality in it. I was able to maintain complete control of my truck. I did have to, do a little maneuvering to not hit anybody. I ended up on the shoulder, truck and trailer upright. I have no damages to my truck and trailer. I didn't hit anything. No one hit me. Unfortunately, by the time we all got back onto the highway to get around the vehicles that were in an accident in front of us, I guess I must have ran over something. So 3 of my drive tires are flat right now, and it was a really slow leak. This is on I-40 in New Mexico. It was a really slow leak because it didn't run out of air until I got to where I am now to get fuel. And my tire pressure monitoring system that was installed on my truck from Prime, it was beeping, and I saw it when it first went off, because I knew my tire pressure was like about 98. I silenced it. About 10 minutes after that, it popped up again saying it was 85, and I silenced it again. I'm like, that's kind of weird, but it is cold, and I was sitting and idling. I wasn't driving. So once I started driving, I noticed it started going back up. So I didn't ignore it, but it wasn't in the front of my mind. So I'm driving. It's probably between where I am now and where the accident was probably about 100 to 108 miles away. And so after we got past all the accidents, both eastbound and westbound side, I'm driving along, there are no snowplows on our side. And like I said, I was one of the first trucks, to get through because I was at the beginning of the accidents. But so there were no snowplows. So of course I'm still going slow, like, 40, 45, 50. I'm not blazing down the highway. But I noticed it started going back up, so not paying any more attention. And then probably about 30 miles in, it goes off again, and it says 72. And I'm like, huh. So I go on my GPS, look up any shop between here and there, and my only options were really, there was a TA before where I am now. That was really my only option. Like, I didn't have any other option but to drive the miles. So like slowly but surely, by the time I got here, so I has 3 tires total. 2 of the tires are my passenger side inside drive tires, because you guys know I switched to dual tires. Which, man, super glad I switched to dual tires. What if I had super singles? I would have had 3 of my 4 drive tires flat, and I would have been screwed sitting on the highway. But I got dual, so I got here. So, I mean, we're not going to talk about that. But 2 of my inside drive tires just steadily declining. By the time I got here, I knew it was going low. So obviously I have tire pass on my truck. So, and I'm at a Love's. But I used the tire pass. Tire Tech came out and they're like, oh, these tires are too low for us to put air in it, but you can put air in it. And I'm like, that doesn't sound safe. Let me, go check into the tire shop so you guys can look at it. Because if you guys don't feel safe putting air in it, why would I do it? Which I get, it's for liability reasons, because the PSI was too low, whatever. But by the time I pulled in to get fuel, by the time I finished pumping fuel, and before the Tire Tech got to that side, I got inside, looked at my tire pressure sensor. One of the tires had 0 PSI in it, and the second one had 12. So I'm like, okay, well, obviously my day is over, so I can't keep driving. So I had to stop early. The third tire is not as bad as those other 2. I think when I shut down, I don't know, probably about 4 or 5 hours ago, it got down to about 56 PSI. So it's not as flat as the other 2, but it's still too low to put air in it. So might as well look at all the tires while I'm in there. So I'm just waiting for them to call me. But for right now, my truck is down. I'm gonna catch up on all these backwards. I am under a load. Ironically enough, I'm under a hazmat flammable load. So imagine if I was not paying attention and ran into the back of someone. My truck probably wouldn't have blown up, but it needs an accelerant to light on fire. But, I would have had a hazmat spill on top of other trucks, slamming into me. It could have been so bad. I really appreciate all the super chats for my tire fund. I appreciate it. Let's see. Good thing is I'm safe and sound. Yes, I am safe. 18-year-olds are coming in, I know. Might as well with that experience. Trying to say they would take. Yeah, so yeah. So I won't go back on that one. Nothing wrong with live streaming while driving. You have a rider to handle everything for you. I personally don't live stream while I drive. With like the clips that I record while I'm driving, I click record before I start rolling, and then I edit that 15-minute gap between me actually starting to drive and me actually getting in a groove where I feel safe and confident in the lane I'm actually driving in. So I do it. That's why I do so many edits, because I record a ton of footage, and then when I go back to edit it, there's a lot of dead gap where I'm not saying anything because I'm just not comfortable. I'm not in a mindset where I'm comfortable to continue or to talk, well, to you guys, but to myself out loud and drive. But like once I'm set, cruise control set, I'm safe, right lane, nothing bother me. That's usually when I cut up to. So I delete anywhere between easily 30 to 45 minutes of dead time out of every video I put out. I was under a load. The weight of my load is only 23,000 pounds, so it wasn't bad. Can you see physical damage? No. And that's something that I was going over with the tire tech. We couldn't find any air leaks. There's no air leaks except for one, but it was a tire that had nothing to do with the ones that are flat. But there's no air leaks. We looked over the tires, we rolled them. We can't find anything sticking in them. We have no idea what happened to the air. So, which is why I'm waiting on the shop to call me. What would be dangerous about putting air in a tire at that low of pressure? I have no idea. I said the same thing when I went inside to talk with the people at Love's, and they also weren't know, but then they had to call the shop foreman, and the shop foreman agreed, like, yeah, Love's has a thing, like any tire that's under 80 psi, they don't put air in for liability reasons. Why? I don't know. I work for me. I don't work for Love's. I don't know. I'm glad you're safe and came out relatively unscathed. Everything's straight with Landstar after that? Yeah, everything's still good with Landstar. Because I wasn't in an accident, I didn't find it necessary to call Landstar safety. Even though I was able to save my truck onto the shoulder, I wasn't a sitting duck because I was still on the active roadway and I was able to drive off of the shoulder after after the traffic started moving. So after that, I didn't find it wasn't an accident, a reportable accident, for me to call Landstar about that. I always look for your blue wool. Yep, and a lot of people, I see you guys in my comments, a lot of people look out for my truck, and a lot of people get it wrong. But one, if I'm ever driving at night, my truck's lit up like a Christmas tree. But two, in the daytime, I have a name tag on the side of my truck. But I think about 3 or 4 people actually caught me, like on a highway I was actually on. But it's good to see that people are looking out for me. It's really funny. I hear tires are hard to come by, shortages. Yes, I know, and that's one of my concerns, is that they can't patch my that they can't patch the tires. That's one of my biggest concerns, is that they that they can't replace it, and then I'm kind of like dead in the water because there's no tires. I mean, best case scenario, I call El Cap and they see a shop that can bring me tires, which would be great. But of course, I hope they have tires, because I need tires. So hopefully they have my brand of tires. So I use a specific brand, and I already know how I'm gonna think. If they make me buy 3 brand new tires, I know I'm just gonna go ahead and get all 8. I know I am, because I don't like mixed match tires, and I know that's gonna suck. Like, I just got these tires last year. When are they making 18-year-old thing official? I'm pretty sure it already is it not? Or if it's not already, in the next couple of days. But I think it's already official. I'm not sure. Someone else can fact check me on that. I have no idea. But yeah, if you're just now tuning in, quick recap. I was involved in the pile up on I-40 today in New Mexico. I was able to avoid any crashing into anything. I was able to safely get away from the accident unscathed, but for whatever reason, I got 3 flat tires out of it. So my truck is down. So, uh-oh. No, wrong thing. I think that already happened. Not sure though. I'm with you. I hate mixed match. Yeah, I don't like mixed match tires, man. I appreciate JDQ for you hopping in for me. I do need to call and check on you. I haven't talked with you in a good little while. But yeah, I'm gonna stay safe as I can. But yes, I have videos coming out. I've recorded a bunch of videos. They should be coming out throughout, between now and the end of next week. There should be quite a few videos coming out. But like right now, like I was supposed to be editing a video right now, and my truck is down, like I'm not in the mood. Like I'm not gonna say I'm stressing, because quite frankly, it's not that big of a deal. But I'm stressing because, like, my tires, you know what I mean? like I have a job to do, and can't do it right now because of people and their driving habits, you know. February 7th is the 30 hours of training required before you can get a permit, I believe. So February 7th, I wonder how many 18-year-olds would actually really want to go on the road and go through all the things we go through. A ton of them. It would be probably a ton of 18-year-olds. A lot of the drivers that I talk to nowadays, or, you know, not really the old school drivers, but, you know, some people like me who started trucking, you know, about 3 years ago. Oh, shoot. My 3-year anniversary is coming up for having my CDL, February 14th. I appreciate it, Kev. Stay warm up there. So I would have my CDL for 3 years on February 14th. Do I come to Dallas a lot? Yes, I do come to Dallas quite often, actually. There's some pretty decent loads out of Dallas. The ones I run, anyway. If you're not scared of hazmat, there's one, I think it's about 15 to 20 miles north of Dallas. I like that run. It's a hazmat load that goes from Dallas to, God, it was one of the first hazmat loads I've ever ran, and I don't remember where it went. It didn't go that far, but it paid really well. But yeah, there's some pretty decent freight coming out of Dallas for sure. But like I said, right now I'm kind of just waiting on the shop. I needed to get to a shop anyway because I needed to hey Francis, I'm trying to be safe. I'm trying. I did a heck of a job today, but delete spam. What happened? Oh, that thing. Oh yeah, I have no idea. Although, there you go. What was I saying? I'm waiting on a shop because I needed to get a chassis lube done anyway. So I was already looking for a shop, and then the whole accident thing happened. So I was looking for a shop to do a chassis lube while I was going to do my 30-minute break, and then all this happened. So I'm kind of like stuck right now. So then when I get pulled into the shop for them to look at my tires, I asked them if they could add on the chassis lube, but obviously it's snow and ice on the ground and there's accidents. So the shop tech is out on a road call, but the tire techs are still here. So they can do my tires, but they're not sure when the road tech is going to be back to come back and do my chassis lube. So I'm kind of in the air whether I'm gonna get a chassis lube done today or probably just wait till tomorrow when I get to where I'm going. Sozo, you probably can now. I hate to like overload you. I'm like modding other channels than the one you already mod. so I appreciate your assistance, brother. I appreciate it, Admiral. Hakeem, I was involved in an accident today. Truck and trailer is safe. I did not come into a collision with anything. Unfortunately, driving over the debris of the other people that actually got involved into an accident claimed 3 of my drive tires. So they were slow leaks for about 100 and so miles. I'm sure the cold air didn't help, but I'm now sitting on 2 definitely flat tires and 1 halfway flat tire, and my truck is down right now until we can figure out what I can do. I'm waiting on the shop to call me to see if they can. I'm really hoping that if it's something they can patch, I really hope they can, because I just don't know if they have the tires that I don't know if they have 8 of the tires that I like to run. And I certainly don't do mix match tires. I don't like putting used tires with new tires. I don't like doing mix match brands. I'm not that kind of, like, I invest money in my equipment. Like, I treat my equipment well because my equipment treats me well. So if 3 tires have to be purchased, 8 tires are going to be purchased today, and it's going to suck. But you know, it pays to be an owner operator. So like I can afford it, but it doesn't mean I want to. You know what I mean? Did I get something to eat? Yes. I have groceries on the truck, but I didn't have the patience, so Carl's Jr. I always get behind. Call Travis, he can bring you some new tires. I know Travis ain't doing nothing but sitting at home. I can watch your channel if you want. I know, Miguel. Oh, I don't really have any issues out of my channel. Usually when I go live, Travis pops in and he helps me out. I mean, I don't necessarily, you know, I don't need a mod. I mean, I don't mind them, but my channel doesn't really generate problems like, you know, the green APU channel. I'm sorry, Matt and Liz. It was low hanging fruit. I couldn't do it. Yeah, like you said, Hakeem, equipment can be fixed. So like, and that's why I always, like, my biggest thing with driving, which I'm just gonna go back and repeat for the guys who've already been here, like, safety is my biggest thing. Like, I know whatever I invest into my equipment, I know that, like, I'm gonna treat my equipment well, and my equipment is gonna treat me well. So it just too soon, Matt. I wasn't ready. That's too soon. Just do 4 all on one axle. So funny thing about that, Michael, is I can't, because 3 of my drive tires are low. 2 of them are on my passenger side, and 1 of them is on my driver's side. So, like, yeah, I could probably swap one of the outside tires on the passenger side and put it on the driver's side. It's just too much. I know I'm just gonna buy all new tires anyway. Like I said, my truck treats me extremely well. The money that I've made off of this truck since I've been at Landstar, I invest that money directly back into this truck for sure. Like, you know, I'm not one of those, you know, cut corner type of owner operators like, oh, if I put a recap here, I can address it at this time. No, like, my truck makes me good money, and for my truck to continue to do that, it's got to be running on good equipment, on good supplies. I'll say supplies. But it's just, I don't know, man. Like, I always preach about safety. How do I feel about 18-year-olds driving? One, I think it's scary, quite frankly. I think 18-year-olds driving semi-trucks is a little scary. But also, if we can fly 18-year-olds to different countries and give them some guns, they can for sure drive a truck. So it's really, the 18-year-olds driving doesn't scare me. It's the training that the 18-year-old drivers are going to get is what scares me. So, I mean, I'm indifferent. Like, if I could drive trucks at 18, I certainly wish I could go back and do that. But it's the people training those 18-year-old drivers are what terrifies me about that whole thing. I mean, outside of that, you know, you can protect this country. You can protect some cargo. You know what I mean? Like, they're fine. I don't know. I'm trying to think of any other updates that I'm willing to divulge right now. I do have some things coming at the end of the month, perhaps. I don't know. It probably won't be this month. It'll probably be like next month. I do have some big news coming in March, but I'm gonna keep it until March. Like, you know, I hate putting stuff out there and then something happens, and then, you know, then you have people comment like, well, you said, like, well, I know what I said, but something happened and I couldn't do it. Just like with this load is due Friday. If I can't get tires till Friday, I'm not going to deliver this load Friday. You know what I mean? So, like, things happen. So I usually report stuff as it happens, but I do know in my mind things are happening this year. I know there's some things that I can't talk about, unfortunately, so I have to kind of leave you guys in the dark, but I mean, it is what it is. It pays the bill. So, but right now I'm enjoying Landstar. One of these times that APU is not going to start up. Like, it's like -11, -12 here, and I know that fuel line is going to freeze, but I have my APU reprogrammed to where it only turns on as soon as my batteries hit a certain amperage, and it only turns on to recharge it, and it turns right back off. Like if I'm not doing anything, like if I'm not cooking or watching TV or on the computer, like something draining the power, it just turns on, turns off, turns on, turns off, which, you know, is what it is. But like I said, safety is the biggest thing. I'm thankful hey Justin, how's it going? Sorry, I don't have my glasses, but I'm trying to keep up. Safety is my biggest thing. I'm thankful I was able to not hit anyone, you know, like that's a huge thing for me. So no accidents on my DAC report, no CSA points for that. I'm glad I wasn't, you know, I'm glad I wasn't hit. I'm glad I didn't hit anyone or anything. But like, to anyone watching and you're currently driving right now, one, thanks for watching, but don't watch me, just listen. But a lot of people, especially a certain company that I know extremely well, I pass a lot of you guys now, and oh my God, I have never seen so many people watch videos on their phone while driving down the highway. Like, oh man, I guess I didn't really pay too much attention. Well, I'm sorry, that's gonna give too much information on what company I'm talking about. But man, there is I see so many drivers, especially today in the snow. Like, I mean, obviously I'm, you know, not really much better. I'm still passing them, but I mean, don't do 35 in a 70, you know, that's crazy. But I see so many people just watching movies and watching videos on their phone. FaceTime, I see a lot of people on FaceTime. I'm kind of hit and miss on that. I mean, I don't FaceTime while I drive, but I know some people do. Like that's their connection to home, so I get it. But like, just don't focus on the phone. Like, don't have something on your phone that is going to take your full attention away from the road. Like, just focus on the road. Like, focus on what's in front of you. Because when you don't, then you have this freaking fatality accident pile up that I just had to deal with earlier today, that now has crippled my truck, you know. So that cost me, like, other people's actions cost other people money, you know. Like, if that accident didn't happen, I wouldn't be buying new tires right now. So it's like I keep going back to it, and it's because I can't stress enough, and I don't think people take it as serious as people really need to. If you're a safe driver, fantastic. I'm super glad you are. If you think you're a driver that is safe, but you have some tendencies, please work on them, because people, I'm not gonna say you, but people like that cost people their lives. Like, especially in this industry, which is why truck driving is so dangerous. Like, you have to think, like, literally you sitting in your truck driving an 80,000 pound vehicle, if you're not oversized, you know, or if you're not, you know, overweight, whatever, legally, you know, step deck, flatbed people. But everything that you do in your 80,000 pound vehicle literally can affect hundreds and thousands of people in the course of you glancing down to look at something. And I don't think a lot of people really understand that. A lot of people are just driving trucks and just like, oh, this is my truck, I can do what I want, I know how I can drive, you know, like, oh yeah, I know there's snow on the ground, but you know, speed limit 75, I can still do 75. Like, no, you can't. Like, there's snow on the ground. If you can't see the lines, you shouldn't be going fast enough where you can't see the lines because they're going by you so fast. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be able to pay attention. Like everything that I do in my truck, I know is going to affect at least 10 to 20 people in the immediate 10 seconds that whatever I do, like, it's going to affect them. And like, I constantly think about that. Like, and a lot of people, I know a lot of people get mad at me too, because they'll call me and I won't answer, or they'll text me and they won't get a text back for like 8 hours, or whenever I take my 30-minute break, or a 10. Like, I'm sorry, but I focus. Like, there's nothing more important to me watching, like, there's nothing more important than me watching the road at any given time that I'm behind the wheel of this vehicle. Like, at all. There's nothing. If Landstar calls me while I'm driving, it's going to take me a solid 10 seconds to think, can I really afford to take a phone call right now? And quite frankly, no, I can't. And that's why I have a voicemail. Like, yeah, I have a Bluetooth headset. Yeah, I can hands-free. Yeah, I can. But how long does it take for me to glance down and reach and put my headset on and focus off the road? No, I'll send you the voicemail. I send people the voicemail all day long. All day long. I don't like talking on the phone. I certainly don't text and drive. Like, safety is my #1 thing because it affects everyone. Like, you're not out here by yourself. Like, it's not just you. You know, even in dry conditions and you're the only one on the road, jackknife that truck and trailer in the middle of the road and see how many people hit you in the middle of the night. Like, everything you do in a truck is everyone's responsibility. And, you know, just passing by that accident today, in which I do have footage of it. I was recording on my GoPro at the time, so y'all are gonna get all that. But I didn't feel like recording another video to discuss what I'm discussing now. But, like, just simple things, like really simple things. I keep saying it, but like, that's the only thing on my mind is safety. Safety. Anyway, moving on to another topic. I really don't have another topic, quite frankly. I really just want to come on and say that. Does driving on ATS count? You know what? It does count up until that one car, and you know what car I'm talking about, until that one car decided to do what that car did and cause an accident on ATS. The government said he only doing because there's shortage of drivers. They said truck industry lost 60,000 plus drivers within last years, I think. Don't quote me on that. Quite frankly, I believe that's a lie. And here's why I say that. If the trucking industry lost 60,000 drivers, where are those 60,000 trucks? Don't worry, I'll wait. Because last I checked, we have a truck shortage. We don't have a driver shortage. And I'm not like attacking your statement, Peyton. I'm just responding to it. Like, cause I read articles and stuff about that, and it's like, oh, we have a driver shortage. Oh, I can't hire enough drivers here. Oh, we need drivers. Then you get drivers and you can't put them in trucks because there's a truck shortage. We don't have a driver shortage. We have a truck shortage. John St. Clair, Darren, what's going on? John St. Clair, I haven't seen you in quite a while. How's it going? I passed through your state yesterday. I was in Arkansas. But yeah, like, oh yeah, I said I wasn't gonna revisit that topic. But yes, if you're just now tuning in, I was involved in an accident on I-40 in New Mexico earlier today. My truck and trailer is fine. I was able to maneuver around to not hit anything. So I kept everything upright. I avoided there was a driver that did the same thing I did, but he was able to get to the shoulder where I was, probably like a couple 100 feet in front of me. But unfortunately for him, he went a little too far off the shoulder, so he got his drive tire stuck in the grass, so he had to wait for a tow truck. I mean, I stayed on the shoulder. So, yeah, it is what it is. I forgot why I even said that, to be quite frank. Oh, I was recapping. Yeah, I was involved in the accident. I was able to maintain proper control of my equipment to make sure I didn't collide into anything and to make sure that other people didn't collide into me. That trooper did sketch me out because of the way that he had to swerve to avoid two trucks, and he had to swerve behind me. It was close. I could tell it was a close call just looking in the mirror. But by the time he got into the ditch, they're trooper trucks. They're built for that stuff. So like, he got in the ditch, like swung it all around, gained control. Well, I couldn't think of that word. Control, got back on the road and continued up the highway. I know he was pissed at that other truck driver though, for sure. But yeah, it's just really a crazy day. We were stuck in that accident probably like an hour and some change. Like, we were stuck for a good little while Good for you. Glad to hear you. Okay, thank you. I hate truck drivers that cruise in the passing lane going slow. That's not. Yeah, I do too. Like me, I know that my truck is ungoverned. I know because I said it that way. You will find me in the right lane 98% of the time. Like, even if I'm passing someone, I dislike being in the left lane. Like, I have every right to be in the left lane now. I still don't like being in the left lane. I'd much rather sit in the right lane. Now, if the speed limit's 70 and someone's governed at like 55, yeah, best believe I'm going around you. But I don't like being in the left lane. I'll choose the right lane any day of the week. I don't like it. I don't understand how drivers can sit in the left lane all day. I can't do it. It physically makes me uncomfortable. And it's probably because, I drove for Prime for two and a half years. So we always, govern at 62, 60, or 65. Well, both for me. But govern at 65, like, yeah, we're going to be in the right lane 100% of the time. Well, those of us who are considerate of other drivers should be in the right lane 100% of the time. But coming over here and I can legally do the speed limit everywhere, I'm still going to be in the right lane, because to me, I feel safe in the right lane. Like, I must have said that wrong. Oh, no, you said it right. Like, no, you said it right. I processed it right. I was just responding to it and adding on to it. No, I didn't think you were talking about me. But like, I was just saying, like I said, I feel safe in the right lane, so I'm always going to be in the right lane. But like you said, that to me, that's dangerous. Like, if I have to pass someone on the right, I feel that's dangerous. Do I do it? Every freaking day. I pass people on the right every day. Why? Because people sit in the left lane and they'll do like 65 and a 70. I'm not going to flash my lights at them. That distracts them from what they're seeing in front of them. If that right lane is open, I'm going to slide to the right, pass them on the right. And about 80% of the time when I pass them on the right, I see their right turn signal to come on for them to move to the right. I mean, that works for me though, because I drive at night. Like, I drive during the daytime when I have to, but for night driving, I'm all over that. Except for now when it's, crap outside, which I'm sure is still snowing. We're supposed to get like between 4 and 8 inches of snow where I'm at right now, and I still haven't been called into the shop. I mean, it's not like I can drive soon anyway. I mean, I get my time back in like 4 hours, but I've been up because I have a feeling if I fall asleep and they call me, I'm not going to hear it, and that's my biggest fear whenever I check into a shop. So I typically just stay up, and what I'm going to do is whenever I get into the shop and get out, that's when I'll start my 10-hour break, because that's safe. You know what I mean? I'm not going to drive just because my E-Log tells me I can drive. Outside of that, y'all, like I said, this live was completely unplanned. If y'all have any questions, really about anything, because I'm going to see if I try and keep my lives at an hour, so I got like 12 minutes to play with. But if y'all have any questions about anything, y'all can drop them in the comments, and I really hope I don't get 50 comments at all at the same time. You reduce right side incidents driving in the right lane. Yeah. I have that fear waiting for a door at Reefer Warehouse. Man, I do not miss Reefer. I can tell you that right now, firsthand. Dry van was probably the best thing I've ever decided to do. Outside of doing trade shows where the detention is long, I don't have to worry about waiting 2 to 3 days for my load to be ready anymore, and that is fantastic. I was about to say, you mean the left lane? Yeah, you're right. The left lane is like a bathroom. You get in the left lane, pass someone, get right back to the right, and I absolutely do that every time. This live stream is brought to you by No Luck Trucking. Yeah. I originally wasn't going to go live today. Like, I thought about it, but I was trying to take a nap earlier, and I realized I couldn't really sleep. So then I hop on in their Discord and noticed that they were going live. I'm like, whew, good. I don't have to go live. But then their internet crapped out, and they were like, oh, you're up. I'm like, dang. So I went live, but I do need to go live with you guys more often. I've missed like interacting and chatting with you guys. I don't know why I'm like so reserved about going live for some reason. I'm not really sure. But I need to get better at it. Like, I love going live and being able to talk with you guys live. Like, you guys can get live feedback. Just because you asked that question, I will go ahead and announce what I'm doing in March. Admiral Reefer, before I go back to these other comments, Admiral Reefer just asked me if I'm still going flatbed. Yes, I am switching divisions. So I am actually going flatbed. Any details outside of that, if I'm going to do flatbed at Landstar, if I'm going to switch to a different company, you'll get all of that information on another video. As far as me, finding out if I'm going to stay at Landstar or not. But yes, I am switching to flatbed. Yes, I will still be an owner-operator. I'm keeping my truck. I'm just getting a headache rack installed on it. But yeah, I will be switching to flatbed here shortly. At least in the first quarter or the beginning of second quarter. You can always become a cattle hauler, no regulations, 85. I don't want to be no cattle hauler. Because if I need, I have a hard, even when the speed limit is 80 miles an hour, I have a hard time maintaining 80 miles an hour. I don't feel comfortable. Like, whenever it goes up to 80, you'll still find me between 70 and probably about 77, maybe 76. How's it going learning Japanese? Whew. It's going. My pronunciation's getting better. My English is getting worse, I've noticed. It's kind of weird. Kind of a weird thing going on right now. But I'm getting better at my Japanese. Right now, I'm thoroughly focused on katakana right now, as far as reading the characters. So I'm to the point where I've kind of put a hold on my speaking studies, because I want to be able to read it. That way, when I go back to my speaking studies, I don't have to read it's called the Romanji, but it's basically the English way to say Japanese words. I don't like reading it in English. I want to be able to recognize the characters. So I'm completely focused on learning the characters right now, outside of my the speaking right now. I'm actually not sure about driver lineup. I saw that too. I noticed that he hasn't done a video in a while. I did text with Jenna. It wasn't that long ago. It's maybe a couple days ago. I don't believe anything's going on. She didn't say anything about it. But thanks for asking that question. That reminds me that I need to reach out to them tomorrow, because I did notice that that they haven't uploaded in a while. Do I run California? Yes. So I can run California. My truck's a 2019, so it's California compliant. I forgot what the word is for that. But yes, I do run California. What are you using to learn Japanese? I'm using Japanese Pod 101 for my speaking and language exchange. Or actually, I'm gonna take that back. Not language exchange. For language exchange, I use Hello Talk, and of course, I'm gonna forget the other one. Langmate. So I have a few native Japanese speakers that I've gotten in contact with, and we talk back and forth. See, I recognize 3 of these, but I don't know the other ones because it looks like there's some English mixed around in there. So I don't really know what that says. But again, that's why I'm focused on the characters. Captain Dave put out saying his truck was down. Another thing too, if you're cruising in the fast lane, it's red flag because you're building up traffic. You got people behind probably jamming on the brakes, running into people in front of you and behind. If you're cruising in the yeah. That's exactly right. But what I'm using to learn Japanese is Japanese Pod 101 is for my classes, and then I actually have a notebook, which I know where it is, but I don't feel like getting it right now. But literally pen and paper, and some of the papers, like for my characters, I write the characters down and I like stick it around the truck to where I can you know, visually see it. Then also watching anime, and it's called J-drama, but Japanese dramas. It's kind of like Korean dramas, but in Japanese. I watch those so I can actually hear and like see how most things are pronounced and said. And also a lot of the animes that, because I watch subbed anime, so it already speaks Japanese. So all the animes that I really loved watching years ago, and I know basically what's going on, like I know the words they use, instead of watching it in English captions, I've been switching it to watching it in Japanese captions, so I can hear the word, I can see how it's spelled out, so I'm like building up my dictionary, so to speak. But that's how I'm kind of, it's called immersion learning, or immersion learning. That's kind of how I'm using my immersion right now. Captain Davis, Eric's TNT, yes. Any other questions really quickly before I go ahead and end this? I guess I got 4 minutes. If you're just now tuning in, I'll go ahead and quickly recap it. There was an accident earlier. I was able to be safe. Unfortunately, getting through the debris, it claimed 3 of my drive tires. So my truck is down until we can figure out what we can do with my tires. That's kind of it right now. So I'm kind of just sitting around waiting for the shop to call. Do you follow this American guy who lives in Japan? I think his channel name is something along the lines of living in Japan. I mean, I follow a lot of polyglots that live in Japan, but I don't particularly know I don't know. Living in Japan. Perhaps. Send me a message on Discord. I don't recognize 2 of those characters. That's A. See, and that, yeah. I'm not gonna get it. And then there's T. I'm not sure. Well, I'm looking forward to your next live. I miss seeing them. Be safe out there, brother. I appreciate it. I promise I'm going to do more lives. Like, I don't know why I fell off of it, to be quite honest. I really enjoy doing lives with you guys. Hi, Maddie. How's it going? Unfortunately, I'm about to get I'm dialing down. I'm just kind of wasting time right now for it to get to 60 minutes. If you can, on the way out, press the thumbs up or the thumbs down, however you feel about the video. It helps out the algorithm. I greatly appreciate it. I want to thank everybody who sent super chats to help me with my tire fund, because that's going to be fun to buy. Watch the tire wear to see if it starts looking funny. You might need to have your drive axles aligned. Perhaps. I'll have that looked at, actually. Do you use a mobile hotspot? If so, what do you use? I do use a mobile hotspot. The company I'm using, their signal is not strong enough for me to recommend them, and I've specifically told them that because they do know I have a YouTube channel, and I told them if they can fix it, I will start putting their name out there, and they said okay, and they haven't done anything about it. So the mobile hotspot I'm using right now, or when I do use a mobile hotspot, I use AT&T. So whenever they start you know, fixing my internet, they'll start getting some shout outs. Super shout out to my mechanic. If you drive a Volvo, or I think he also works on Peterbilts too, Paramount Trucking in North Carolina. I mean, Clint has like saved my life, man, like more times than once. So definitely shout out to Paramount. I really just wanted to shout him out for sure. Throw some new rubber on that old gal and let's turn and burn. Exactly. I'm gonna get all new tires. All right, so I'm on my final 20 seconds. I stand firm in my belief that my lives are 1 hour long, and that's it. So guys, I appreciate you guys for checking in on me and coming and chat with me. I always enjoy it. I'm gonna make sure I do it more often. If you can, or if you have any further questions, my email's in the description below, I just made an order through OTR Mobile. They tethered off AT&T. Yeah, I do AT&T. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, guys. Like I always say, if you're thinking, you might as well do it logically. Please drive safe. If it's snow and ice on the ground, park it. It's not worth it. That load will get delivered late. It's a lot better than not being delivered at all. Y'all stay safe, and I'll see y'all.